Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome into the Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, semifinals edition. Your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solution, the premier destination for KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances in Moncton. Right now, they got the KitchenAid built-in savings event. Save $600 when you purchase any 3, $800 when you purchase any 4, $1,200 when you purchase any 5 or more qualifying KitchenAid built-in major kitchen appliances. Purchases must be made before June 4th. For those and any other deals, go to appliancesolutions.ca. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam Lund, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. YQM, Mr. Starbucks, told to enjoy his Starbucks, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. How's your week been? She's warming up.
Yes, warming up. It's almost baby time. Yeah.
Like how much? Like how almost? Like we're not worried there.
We're
6 weeks out, I think.
Yeah, a month maybe. Yeah, we could be.
Well, the Memorial Cup's less than a month away.
It could be 4 to 6 weeks at this point. So we never know. Got the did a little cleaning up. Megan is what is being called nesting right now. So that's when the pregnant woman just goes on a massive clean spree.
Wants everything to be done, so it's easy when the baby gets here.
So on Saturday, the house was cleaned up and down. The nursery looks a lot better than it did a week ago.
Yep. Paint color?
Haven't painted yet. We're getting there.
Is Avery getting picked?
No.
No.
She's going to get her own room eventually.
Oh, okay.
But we did this, put together a crib, my nephew and I should say he more or less did most of the work. But it was one of those cribs that we got it off the infamous Buy Nothing group.
Yes.
That you love. I know
you
love the Buy
There's
Nothing
nothing better than a regular Monday when Jeremy's like, hey, would you like half a cake from the Buy Nothing group?
Half an eaten cake and half a bag of Costco chicken wings.
Some Costco chicken wings. Look, I'm sure somebody needs that, but no.
Yeah. So anyways, it was maybe 40% put together, but you're missing some screws, so we had to take a trip to Rona and got the screws necessary. So we put it all together. So the crib's put together. We got a nice little rocking chair in there now, one of those swinging things, a dresser, change table. So it's more or less just get some paint done.
Yep.
And we'll be on the way. Still need to get the car seat installed. Probably going to ask you to do that. You seem to be the expert in car seat installations.
I've done 2 in my life.
So might have to bring that over next week when we do the show and have you.
Well, I film that for something. Yeah.
Put that as a TikTok. Come with me as I install a car seat. And then do
come with me as I am going to the fire station to let them install my car seat.
Yeah, actually, I actually messaged them and I was like, do you guys do car seat installations? They're like, no, not anymore. I'm like, oh, that's safe.
Which is funny because you said make sure to go to the fire department. And I was like, I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah. Anyway,
they're so depending which ones you buy, they're so simple. Like 2 clips in the back. Like Kiva's doesn't even seatbelt in anymore. It's just 2 clips in the back, and then it's got a piece that comes over and clips in the back of your car.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And then a bar that goes from the seat down onto the floor for traction. So
I don't think mine's that fancy.
No,
but maybe I'll have to get you to do a little.
It's probably just yours. Is probably just like 2 clips that click in those hooks in the back,
so.
And then something that goes over top and hooks in the back.
Yeah, I think so. So
we'll
get it figured out. But that's pretty much been my that was my weekend, other than being at the rink on Thursday and Friday.
How's your gauge? How are you feeling as it gets closer?
It's getting there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting a little excited, a little scared at the same time, but
nervous.
Yeah, nervous, scared. But it's going to be Final 4 of the NHL playoffs during that time. So there'll be some sports on for me to watch, and
it does kind of come back to you.
Yeah,
it does eventually kind of come back to you. Not all at once. It takes some time, but yeah,
I'm ready. I think Megan's ready too. She's like, I just want to get it out now.
And you're
another couple of weeks.
You're like, we can do now. Like that might get me to Rimouski if we do now. If
I'm still saying, I still think it's gonna be my birthday. Something just tells me that it's gonna be born on my birthday. which would be okay because it would be 37 and a half weeks. 37 is full term, and there's just something in me that says it's going to be my birthday. That's the case. I'll have to skip wing night, but
that's a pretty good reason to skip wing.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I just have this intuition that's telling me it's going to be born on my birthday.
Yeah, I didn't quite have that because I was, as you know, I don't want to share my birthday, but I kind of figured she was not going to be on my birthday. I was like, yeah, she's going to be. And then they said, what day would you like? And I was like, this day, because it's perfectly in the schedule.
Yeah, I don't think I'll have that luxury.
No. Yeah, my family here, gone, enjoyed it all. No more driving, no more.
And they didn't even want to see me.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry about that.
Jesus.
Next time?
I'm coming over uninvited.
Yeah, and we were worried because we weren't sure how Kiva was going to readjust to her schedules because her schedule is pretty set on between 7 and 8. It's bedtime. She was going to bed at 9, 10. Came home at midnight once. Had to wake her up, feed her, put her back to bed. So she's a trooper. 3 months already on Monday. Like it just flies.
Wow.
Like, and what's weird is like I see her every day, and I'm like, when do you change? Yeah. Like, when do you grow? When do you change? Because it just feels like you're the same baby I brought home, and all of a sudden I'm like, you're this big now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
and like the facial features, and it's just like I don't know when that happened, but I'm here for it. I'm excited for it, and she's now going into what I guess her third leap, which Monday night was I'm going to scream and eat and scream and eat and just want to be held. And you're just like,
sounds like me some nights.
Yeah. I'm like, thank God the weather's changing so that we can go for a walk.
Yeah.
So that we can do something other than just sit at home with you all day. But yeah, I'm excited for you. Less than a month. I'm pumped.
There's a planned baby shower / diaper party.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, that I'll be sure to invite you to.
Oh, that's exciting.
I hope it doesn't conflict with.
Is it less alcohol than was at Dobson's?
Was I at Dobson's?
No, I don't think you were.
I don't think I was either.
I was there for.
There will definitely be less alcohol.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely be inviting you.
You have a date?
I think it's May 18th. Sunday, okay. May 18th.
Okay.
Same day as the Avril Lavigne concert here at the.
Is it at the Avril Lavigne?
No, it's not the Avril Lavigne. That'd be nice though. Rent out one of those suites at the Avenir Center.
Rent out that big suite for your diaper party and go see Avril Lavigne. Oh man.
No, not sure if I have the money for that.
No, that's a heck of a diaper party if somebody wants to give you that for May 18th, you said, eh?
Yeah. At like 1 o'clock or something like that. It's a Sunday. I guess it wouldn't be a hockey game that night because the Avenir Center.
But yeah, they'd be on the road if anything. Because that's the week of the Memorial Cup. So that would be game 6, depending where they play. It's on the Saturday or the Sunday. Which would, again, depending where they're in Quebec. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to come to your diaper party. We can watch the game there.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Still have 2 games to win before we can talk about that.
Absolutely. All right. As always, fans, don't forget you can follow us on all the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, and on here, on the YouTube, don't forget to like and smash the subscribe button. Lets us know you like what we're doing. And you can click the bell so you don't miss any of our podcast post games that are Q related now. They're Scrum related, which is kind of fun. Any live podcasts that we may have coming down the pipe for you. It's time for the quick question, which it's time to look back on the 2021 entry draft.
Oh, yeah. We joked about this a little bit, eh?
We were going to go away from the
blind rankings,
and we're going to go with the draft look back on this.
Which is kind of almost like a blind ranking, too, because we don't know who's the person's going to choose who, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to take the odd numbers. You're going to take the even numbers, right?
Okay. Yeah, that was a plan.
All right. So this is so simple on number 1. He was ranked by CSR number 1. He's going to stay number 1. It is Ethan Gauthier.
Okay. So Ethan Gauthier stays in Sherbrooke.
Yeah.
All right.
So the number 2 pick was Drummondville. They went with Tyler Peddle from SS
Shattuck Mariners. I will respectfully pass on Tyler Peddle and select Matthew Cataford.
Oh. a nice selection. That's nice. So Baie-Comeau, they went with Vincent Collard.
Name sounds familiar.
The name does sound familiar, which again, this is going to impact our what was I going to say? Impact our moving forward, like our trades down the butterfly effect is what is going to. Oh yeah, I'm going to go with the defenseman. Give him a nice big tall defenseman, Dylan McKinnon.
Oh, you're going with Dylan McKinnon.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to go with him in the 3 spot.
Okay.
It's funny to try and look back and remember what these teams needed back then. So your top 3 is Gauthier, Catafor, and McKinnon. Rimouski is on the clock.
This was originally picked by, this was the Luke Coughlin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I will stick defenseman wise here in Rimouski, but I will take Etienne Morin.
Makes the large jump.
Significant jump.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
So I've got Halifax at 5, which was Dylan McKinnon. They're going to stay defense. They're actually going to take, because Luke Coughlin fell to them, they're going to take Luke Coughlin there at 5.
Okay.
You got Halifax at 6, who originally took Catafor, but he was moved up into
the
number 2 slot.
Picks.
So
that's correct.
The top 5 are Ethan Gauthier, Catafor, Dylan McKinnon, Etienne Morin, and Luke Coughlin.
All right. With that being said, the Halifax Mookseds select Alexandre Blais.
Killing me, bro.
I like this draft.
Yeah. Blais. So that's Blainville at 7. And you know what? They are going to. I'm going to stay with Alexi Bork.
Alexi Bork, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with Alexi Bork there.
I like it. That opens up the door for me.
Yep. This is Cape Breton selection at 8.
This is going to be a bust of a pick. They had selected Emile Perron.
Yep. I think it's ranked 3rd.
I will pass on that.
Yep.
But I will actually take a player that was also an Eagle. I will go with Cam Squires.
Oh, you're going to take Cam Squires all the way up there.
A little bit of a jump there. But stays in Cape Breton.
Well, I've got the boring picks here in the middle rounds. I got Shawinigan at 9. They're going to stay with Jordan Turney.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
There's no screwing around there to stay with that guy. So this is the Rimouski draft. They have 4 picks in the first round. They are at the number 10 slot, Mr. Saint Denis.
As good as he's been for Rimouski, I'm going to have to make a pass here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go just based on play in the league. I'm going to go with Justin LaRose.
Son of a bitch. I was just getting ready to put him in Drummondville. So obviously they were looking forward. They're looking for a forward. They went with Matteo Rotundi. They're actually going to take Alex Mercier.
Very good.
Going to take a sniper there.
Love it. Like it a lot.
So they come out with Mercier.
Nice.
Drummondville. Yeah, they come out with Cataford and Mercier.
Not bad.
Not bad for a 2 picks in the top 11. So Rimouski at 12 took Maxime Courcelle.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the D here. I am going to select Marc-Olivier Baudry.
Like that. So that's was it Blainville now at Justin Beausile. I'm gonna just take the guy that went just behind him, Justin Gendron.
All right.
He goes to Blainville. So Victo's on the clock, who just took Gendron.
I'm gonna go up and take Maël Saint Denis here. Maël Saint Denis.
So this was Rimouski now at 15 with Kyle Hagen.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. So they come out. They've got Etienne Morin. What else they got? They got Justin LaRose and Baudry. they can kind of play with what they've got a little bit. There was a player. Actually, I'm going to give him a goaltender, but I'm going to give him the second goaltender taken off the board. Matthias, or I guess third, Matthias Fernandez.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, they can afford to go that because they've answered some things. So I'm going to give him Fernandez.
Okay.
So you've got Drummondville at 16.
Drummondville at 16. The Voltigeurs are proud to select Maël Leving.
Oh, wow.
I'm killing this draft.
And then they are proud to select at 17, Vincent Collard.
Oh, yes, sir.
That is a steal for them. So
Yeah.
Drummondville comes out with Cadafor, Mercier, Leving, and Collard.
All forwards.
Yeah, they went forward
going
heavy
for the jugular there.
So you got Bacomo at 18, who almost had Collard fall all the way back to them.
Yeah. All right. So with this pick here, I'm going to stick with a player who was picked in the first round. I will go with Emile Perron.
Bacomo. Perron. 19, St. John. They went with Nathan Grenier, who we ended up acquiring there. Whoa. I think I'm going to give him a defenseman. It's going to be Rotundi. This ball's going to stop here.
Yep.
Halifax would like him as a big bruising defenseman, but unfortunately, he's going to St. John.
All right.
So to round out the top 10 or the top 20, so the first round, Logan Crosby went to Halifax. So we are going to go with 3 extra picks to see what is left for Moncton there, but you've got Halifax here at 20.
Halifax at 20. Let's see what's. Might have to call timeout here. I'm going to go with Maxime Corsal.
Nice. So that's Sherbrooke takes Gauthier, Drummondville takes Cadafor, Bacomo, McKinnon, Rimouski, Moran, Halifax, Coughlin to round out the top 5. Halifax at 6 with Blaze. Blainville takes Bork. Cape Breton keeps Cam Squires just a little bit earlier. Turney goes to Shawinigan. LaRose to Rimouski. Mercier to Drummondville. Beaudry to Rimouski. John Dron to Blainville. St. Denis to Victoriaville. Fernandez to Rimouski again to round out their 4 picks. Drummondville goes back-to-back with Maya Leving and Vincent Collard. Bacomo takes Perrin. St. John takes Rotundi, and Corsal goes to Halifax. That leaves Moncton at 21. And they're going to go with left winger Nathan Baril.
Oh, good character pick there.
Yeah.
Good character
Wildcat
pick.
way there.
Yeah.
So that gives Cape Breton here at 22. So that's where Cam Squires was originally taken. What do you want to go there?
Tyler Peddle.
Oh, Peddle. Yeah.
Falls out of the first round. Best player available.
Yep. And that leaves me with Moncton. That's you know what? They're going to go with Grenier.
Grenier?
Yeah.
Not going with Jack Martin?
No, they're going to go with the Grenier. They like the
Bradley Nadeau?
No, Bradley Nadeau was never going to report. That's why they.
Thomas Verdun?
Yeah. There's a lot of players you can go with. Jules Bullard, yeah.
Lucas Landry?
Again, you don't know if they're going to report, right? Yeah, there's a lot of different, but it shapes the how different.
Yeah.
Grenier. How different does the 2020 trade look? The 2022 season, this season, how much different does it look be with, Drummondville probably doesn't go get Gauthier if they've got Cataford and Mercier, Leving, Collard,
Yeah, it was a weird draft.
Yeah.
Very weird draft. I mean, Kyle Hagen in the first round was definitely a bit of a reach, considering he was ranked in the 5th, but
yeah, and he's played 20 games total.
Yeah, so you can't. It was a really hard draft to get a grasp on, and I think we did a better job than what they did in real time.
which it's a lot easier to go back and look at what you could have had. But I don't know if you want to do another one of these. These are kind of fun.
Well, I think it's the only really one we could do
would be 2020.
2020 because their season was cut short, but it was at the same time
they got a lot of looks at players.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot more accurate than this one. But just don't know if it's like Tristan Luneau first, Rowe second, Leighton Carruthers third. I mean, no.
Yeah.
Vincent Filias sixth, no. Mastro Domenico ninth, no. I mean, you can Lane Hinckley at 16, no.
You put that roster that we put together for Drummondville after taking Luke Woodworth and Maverick Lamourer that they took 11 and 12 the year before.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's a dangerous lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe 2020. I think Sam Savoie, becomes third. Carruthers just out of the first round.
Yeah.
Master Dominica didn't play in the league. Who's Nathan Flagg? Oh, never mind. I have it on the English translation. That's actually Nathan Dreppo.
I'm like looking. I'm like, I have
no
idea who that is.
That caught me off guard big close. Time.
Yeah. Lane Hinckley at 16.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Rucci is the Drew Bear.
Jordan Dumais at 18th overall.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Dylan Gill goes a bit higher.
You can make the argument that this would be a better draft to redo. Sam Oliver was a 27th overall.
I mean, if you're Valdor, you're probably taking Riley Mercer over Vince Filion.
Yeah. So this was fun though. Yeah. I like this one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was a little worried. I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm trying to keep players, but yeah,
maybe we'll go back to our blind rankings next week.
It is my turn to blind ranking on something.
Yeah.
Or go back and do like the 1997 or
Jesus. The 1969 NHL draft.
The 2016 draft, just to see how bad those are.
Oh.
Right? Like just actually, so Moncton's draft on that, for those that were.
Moncton's draft in 2016 was awful.
That was the Hudson one, right?
Yeah. Where they had the Wildcats had a reservation at a restaurant in Charlottetown for like 20 people. And they just didn't draft enough players that were in attendance, so they canceled the restaurant reservation. That was
that'd be that the 2016 one would be fun to try and go back and do.
Was absolutely god awful. The worst Wildcats draft of all time.
But for other people, I'm not going to go there. But for all the other teams,
Halifax,
Brewer and McIsaac 1, 2,
smoked it.
Rodrigue 3,
yeah,
Forche 4,
yeah,
fun. Like
we had those four guys.
Yeah, Xavier Bouchard 5, Dobson 6. When was Dobson fall? 6. Ferrier, Hood, Sean Element, Anderson McDonald.
It was a very good draft.
Yeah,
Moncton was. I don't even know how they even. Yeah, I can't even. The 2016 draft was.
Put that out of your
dog
mind.
Shirt.
They didn't pick till the third round.
Was that the Noah Massey draft?
That was the Noah Massey draft.
Oh my god!
I'm assuming Dobson at this point is listening to this, just cringing.
He played high school hockey in Quebec.
Oh, yeah. John Reaney High School.
Yeah. And Roger Shannon was so hype about this kid. Oh, man, I watched him 2 times. He actually said that. I only watched him 2 times and I was ready. I knew he was going to be my player.
So just for fun, he went at 50. At 55 went Zachary Emon. 56 went Alexi Shank. 59 went Colton Ellis. 60, Samuel Bolduc. Justin Bergeron went 61. And then, Jacob Hudson, 64. Rollins went 65.
Still shaking my head at that draft.
Oh. And you were there live, weren't you?
Yeah. I remember being there live. This is a funny story. I'm still trying to find the video of it. So it had been since 2012 because Moncton didn't have a 2013, 2014, or 2015 first round pick because Roger Shannon traded them all.
That doesn't seem like a good way to build a team.
They had a 2016 first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited. The Commissioner Courteau says, prochaine sélection, Wildcats de Moncton. And all you hear is Roger Shannon, timeout, please. And you just hear me stand up. Oh, come on. And the whole rink just starts laughing. And I think Halifax even tweeted about it.
Yeah.
Saying there was an unhappy Wildcats fan in attendance or something.
And this is
like
for
that. This was the 2016 draft in Charlottetown. And for the life of me, I cannot find the video of the draft. I know I'm pretty sure Rogers TV was broadcasting the draft because Chris Dobson, I think, was there. And
where was the 2016 one?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Charlottetown.
Where was the 2017 one?
Oh.
Because didn't you yell when at 2017 when
it was in St. John?
Oh, so it was Charlottetown then St. John. Okay.
Yeah. Because that was the Pelche and Bellamy.
Yeah, and when he said Francois or Sam's whatever Pelche school is, I can't think of right now.
That's when everybody knew.
Yeah.
So
because you yelled again.
Yeah. It was that's all I remember. And I still, for the life, I wish I could find that video because I have no doubt in my mind that you could hear me yell on the feed because people on the other side of the rink were laughing too. And the whole Wildcats draft table turned around and looked at me and started laughing.
So they had a 2016 first round pick.
Yeah. And they traded it to Blainville. I think it was like 16th overall. Did Blainville draft 16th in that draft in 2016?
I think so. 2016. Baie-Comeau drafted 16th. Blainville drafted 15th.
15th. So it was 15th.
Yeah,
overall.
what's annoying is they don't have from on the older ones. Like you look at the 2020s kind of things, it says from whoever it was.
Yeah.
Because if I go look at the trade, it looks like it was.
Even the trade itself was bad. When they traded away
the first round pick in 2016 for a third, fifth, and second.
Yeah.
In 2017.
Even the trade was bad. Yeah. Like you can't build a roster. You can't build a championship contender if you're constantly trading your first round picks.
Yeah.
And even that, their 2012 first round pick was Brandon Shea, who was an absolute bust. So they went 2012 bust. No picks in 2013, 14, 15, or 16. And then they got Pelche and Bellamy in 2017.
Good Lord.
Like you can't ice a contender if you're trading your first round picks.
Yeah, 2013, the first pick they had was Adam Hallwell.
Yeah, which wasn't bad.
In the third round. No.
The return on that was really good.
Yeah.
But still, like, you can't build a championship team if you're trading first round picks. Someone's got to find that video.
This is fun history for me to go back and, pre-Adam, obviously. Yeah. Noah Carson was the second round selection in 2014. And then Liam Murphy in the third. And what was it? 2015 was the other one?
Like, just bad drafts. Just absolute crap.
Yeah.
Like, they're crap. They were so bad.
Okay, Mika Sear was the second round in 2015.
Jeremy McKenna.
Yeah.
And
Jonathan Aspero.
Yeah, like that was a good draft. And they traded for Capinelli.
Yeah.
But Noah Corson, Liam Murphy, trading all Brandon Shea, like you don't win championships. Noah Massey. Like I think Noah Massey played 5 games in the Q.
And then 2017, that was Richie's first year?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank God.
You could tell, yeah. Pelche, Bellamy, Jeremy Jacques, J. Bob Stewart. Kyle Foreman, Sean Stewart, oh, that's tough.
Like, thank God for Richie.
that's tough. Oh boy! All right, let's get some news and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the queue.
People are going to listen to that segment and just be laughing. Like I would be surprised if there's some people listening to that and they're going to have tears in their eyes from laughing.
Dobson's going to have to pull over. He's going to be laughing.
I need somebody to find me the video of the first.
I didn't know you did that one. I knew you did the Pelche one.
Yeah, the first round of the 2016 draft in Charlottetown. I need to find a video. Like there's individual interviews on YouTube, from John Moore.
You should ask Chris Corey. Was he doing Rogers then?
I think so, because he was interviewing the players after each picks.
Yeah, it's got to be on YouTube.
I'll search for it right now. But get to your news and notes there, and I'll see if we can find it.
All right, news and notes from Around the Q, presented by Integrity Lawn Care. Check them out on Instagram or give them a call 506-866-8218 or email them at integritylawn.care.com. The Q Cup finished up as Team Dag defeated Team Savage by a 3-2 score. They went undefeated in that tournament. Benjamin Vitek was on that team. Who else was on that team? Jack Skinnish, Malik L'Italien. Like they were stacked.
Yep, that was a
Fenwick McLean. Yeah, they were Scandalberry. They were stacked.
Good team.
Yeah,
that was a
Nolan Haru. Yeah,
Yep.
They were
great tournament.
Yeah. Did you see any of it?
Didn't see any of it.
No,
because you couldn't watch it. You had to be there.
Just why? Just why? The Moncton Flyers are coming back with a medal as they won the bronze medal at the TELUS Cup with a 4-1 victory over the Elgin Middlesex Canucks. Tough for Levy to end their season in overtime. They beat him in the round robin, I think 6-2, and then to lose 3-2 in overtime. The number 1 overall pick in the WHL, Maddox Schultz, going to Regina, scores the OT winner. I just hope that Regina builds around him more than they built around Connor Bedard so they can actually get to a WHL final and to make it worth it. The series shifts. As both series shifts, we'll look at Shawinigan and Rimouski. I'm not sure a lot of people thought it was going to be 2-0 Rimouski as that series shift, and I'm included in that. They beat them 5-1 and 7-0 without Mateko, without Catafor. I mean, Mateko came back in the second game without Catafor, without Jack Martin. I think was missing one of them. Like they seem like a hurting unit, and they just keep on trucking. Like they are a force.
Yeah, I don't know how they pulled this off. I mean, it just shows how deep they are.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to, first game 1, I thought game 1 was a blowout until I saw game 2. Like they spanked them in game 2. I was surprised. I mean, it just, I don't know if Shawinigan has much left in the tank at this point.
Yeah.
They really got to flip the switch here and figure it out if they want to make this a series. I think in both cases, both series, Shawinigan and Aruan, they got to win. They have to win game 3 if they want to make this any longer. And it's
and both coming home to a very good home ice advantage.
Yeah. I'm not upset about it.
No,
this is what we want.
Yes.
For not going to say why.
For stuff.
It's what we want. Yeah. I think everybody understands this is what we want. I think behind every Wildcats fan, they've got blue and white pom poms that they're kind of shaking.
Like the fan bus found that one guy that was wearing the t-shirts. There's 6 of them, the half Moncton, half Rimouski t-shirts.
Yeah.
Technically, it's like 70-30.
This is kind of what we want.
Yeah, kind of.
So I'm not against it.
No.
I like it. But no, just surprising Shawinigan. I mean, I was expecting them to get a split and make it a series.
Mm-hmm.
So now they really got to turn around. I mean, they got to win 4 of the next 5.
Yeah.
Right. To do anything.
Yeah. So and against a team that hasn't lost that many. And what I think about the most shocking part is they were 18-0-2 coming into this. Like they were as hot as Moncton, second hottest team in the queue, and just ran into a brick wall. And the backup, Matthias, that's eluding me.
Mathis Langevin.
Pause that before it blows in my ear. I don't know if Lascelles going to come back or if they. There it is. I hit the pause button. I don't know when he's coming back, but right now, I mean, that's a classic. Yeah, that's a classic. I mean, when his first game was 10-1. I think Shawinigan beat them 10-1 in his first game, and he's a classic case of it. He doesn't have to be great. He just has to be good enough. He's 10-2, a .950 save percentage, and a 1.4. Like he is. It's a revenge series too for him. He played Shawinigan last year, but he just doesn't have to be great. He just has to be good enough. And he's been good enough to the point where I don't know what the LaSalle injury was, but they can avoid to keep him as a backup until things get dire, potentially until the tournament starts.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
like
this is almost a perfect scenario for Rimouski where they're so beat up, but they're still winning games, and so they could easily make it to the finals, be a beat up team, and still be healthy in time for the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, Spencer Gill.
Yeah, I mean he's
Catafor, LaSalle coming back all.
Like the Spencer Gill injury was game one.
No, it was regular season.
Regular season, and it was like a 12
week injury,
and it literally lined it up for the first game of the Memorial Cup.
I think it was just after the trade deadline. Like it was like the first week in January, because you're just like, oh, he goes down a week after all the trades are done and stuff like that, and the month or the 3 month timeline worked out just the day before, the day after. So it's a surprising. That one is a little bit more surprising than Rouen and Moncton being 2-0, because I just thought Shawinigan was a team that was rolling. Rimouski had a little bit of trouble with Chicoutimi. So I thought that one would at least be the split.
Yeah. Hey, I thought our series was going to be a split too. You know, honest to God, I thought it was going to be. And it was damn well almost a split.
Yeah.
But,
we'll
get into it.
Yeah, damn near almost worse than a split. But we'll get into it here in a little bit. Speaking of the QMJHL draft that we just did, the lottery was this past week. And like you said on Twitter, death, taxes, and the SeaDogs win the draft lottery. It's for what, 4 of the 7 they've been in, they've won.
Something like that. Yeah.
Start showing these things live.
Yeah, see, I didn't get that.
The ball's coming out live.
Let me take a second to address this. So you have a draft lottery with 60% of the teams in the draft lottery from Atlantic Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only available on RDS. I have to pay extra to have RDS in my cable package.
Yep.
Why is this not something that's on the CHL app?
The OHL one was. The OHL drafts were.
Right? Like, why was this not something that you have on the CHL app to watch?
Yep.
Instead of putting on RDS. I understand that the lottery is done in the RDS studios. Fine. But from a fan perspective, you should not find out the lottery results on Twitter.
Yeah. At the very least, if you don't want to put on the CHL app for whatever, why isn't it on your YouTube? Your QMJHL YouTube.
Another one.
Like,
it has been in the past, has it not?
Yes, I believe so. Ours was. No, ours was on RDS. I just luckily had RDS. Or I paid for it. No, it was on RDS and I paid for it. I had to pay for the month.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like,
you had to have the Memorial Cup in your city, province. Why can't we have the access to these events? All of them. Like, it's 2025. There's no reason. The WHL has everything on for free at Victory Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Yeah. And we can't get a YouTube stream of a draft lottery?
I don't get it. It was, you have, how many people in Newfoundland do you think have RDS?
0.
Wow.
Okay. Like, I guess other than the odd family that needs it, but I would say 5%.
See, that was, that's what I didn't get. I didn't understand, you know, there's so many things that we could talk about that we think the league should do. But the simplest things seem like the toughest things. Like the draft lottery that it might take 20 minutes to put on YouTube. They literally they released the rosters, not the rosters, the players who would be participating in the Q Cup on the QMJHL YouTube. But they can't have the draft lottery on their YouTube?
Make it make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You read off the names of 60 players on a YouTube live, which took you 15 minutes, but you can't show a draft lottery consisting of 5 teams and 5 balls that might take 15 minutes.
Yeah. And
respectfully to all the players playing in the Q Cup, but what are you, as a fan, going to watch more? The 60 players being named to the Q Cup
that you don't know because you don't follow the draft players,
or the draft lottery? I know what I'm watching.
Yep.
I'm watching the draft lottery.
Yep.
So that's what doesn't understand. That's what just doesn't make sense to me, is something like that, something so small that takes 10, 15 minutes. You flip a card over.
Yeah.
Selecting 5th is blah, 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 blah. The Newfoundland Regiment.
Yeah.
Picking 4th, the Quebec Ramparts.
And
Picking 4th, the Halifax Mooseheads. And then you take 5 minutes and you interview the 2 remaining GMs and say, 2.5 minutes with Trevor Georgie, 2.5 minutes with Victoriaville's GM. I can't remember his name. And then you say, okay, and the first overall pick belongs to, flip up the card.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much.
Nope.
We could produce the same thing in the studio here, and it doesn't take rocket science to put together a production like that.
And if it's a matter of hiring more people to do this because you're stretched out thin, do it. You're talking about the easiest things. The O and the WHL in the playoffs have players of the week, rookies of the week, during the playoffs of the 8 or 4 teams that are left. The Q, once the playoffs start, no players of the week, no team of the week, no nothing. Like, it's just make it make sense. It's the simplest things. You want to compete with the NCAA and losing players and this and that. You want families to see things, and it's getting harder and harder to find stuff. Put it out on your YouTube. It's just, I don't know if RDS has it like on their contract that they can get it. It doesn't go on YouTube, but you're the league. You can do what you want.
Change.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want my early top 5 guesses for how the draft's going to go?
Okay.
Yeah. You got your list there? Or?
I can make a list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to do yours. I just want to give you mine.
Okay.
I just didn't know if you had your kind of mock drafts.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So first overall.
Okay.
St. John is going to take James Scantlebury.
Ooh. See, I think there's a lot of people who think they'll take him.
Mm-hmm.
But
Alexi Joseph, we're in draft mode because this is our draft /
Alexi Joseph was just way too dominant. He's just, I don't know how you pass on him.
Yeah.
So you're not going to find many 6'4", 200-pound 16-year-olds. But at the same time, he's probably only going to play in the league for 2 years.
Joseph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas James Scantlebury might get you an extra year. So if you're St. John,
you might need that extra year.
Because
that's going to be when we host.
Or Gatineau hosts, or Cape Breton hosts.
Yeah. The Q is what I meant by we. Rimouski's laughing to the bank because they get Alexi Joseph from that Victoriaville trade.
Was apparently being traded.
Allegedly. So Victoriaville or Rimouski.
Allegedly trading it to Rimouski, who was allegedly trading it to.
Oh, okay. So that's Alexi Joseph goes too.
Yeah.
Then you've got a trade.
Okay.
Newfoundland is going to move up with Halifax to take Benjamin D.B.A.T.C. because I don't think he gets to him at 5. So they're going to move up. They're going to give up 5 and 8 because they got 3 picks in the first round. I don't know if that's too much, but they're going to move up. They're going to take Benjamin D.B.A.T.C.
I still think they can get him at 5 because I have him at 5.
Yeah. And then Quebec is going to take Malik L'Italien. And then Halifax is going to take Thomas Charbonneau.
Where's Zach Arsenault?
He would go 6 to Newfoundland. I only did the top 5.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt really good until I told you those names.
Okay. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine.
I think the way you and Austin have been talking, there isn't a number one that is a focus number one. And I think Scantlebury is a big body forward, and St. John needs that can put the puck in the net. I think that's why I went with him. One, Alexi Joseph makes sense. And I don't know if I just went, you know what? V-Tech is from Newfoundland. They have the ability to move up and make a splash in there for a draft.
I wish it was pronounced V-Tech.
What is it?
Veitch.
Oh, it's Veitch?
Veitch. Or Veitch.
All right. Not even close.
V-Tech.
V-Tech.
I used to make cordless phones.
V-Tech sounds neat. Okay, Veitch. So I just think they can make a splash and they can get a hometown kid to help sell tickets. So that's there.
Yeah. I you know what? Malik L'Italien has definitely jumped up a lot of draft boards after this weekend. Yeah. He's kind of been hit. I wouldn't necessarily say hidden, but playing at Stansted, he's not getting the attention from the scouts that go to the U18 in Quebec. So when they watch him this way, it was like,
yeah,
it went up.
Some of the stuff I was reading, he seemed like he had a great tournament. So I'm like, well, then he's probably going to fall into the top 5.
Yeah.
So we'll see how close I get in a month.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this.
We're not. You and Austin will probably have to do this.
Relatively soon. Oh well.
Hopefully there'll be some time between something and something that we can get it in.
Because it's what, June
weekend after
June 6th.
Yeah.
Ouch.
All right,
we'll make some time.
45 minutes talking about anything else. Let's get to our team.
Weekly Rewind.
We get time to beat here. We gotta.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna go that bad, but I looked up the clock. I was like, "Oh, here we go."
I guess my rant about a couple of rants of mine have been about 5-10 minutes each.
Hey,
so,
and people appreciate the rants. It's okay. We've had too many shows at an hour. It's time to go a little bit longer. The series now shifts to Ren Around for games 3 and 4 as the Wildcats hold serve at home, taking games 1 and 2. And if I'm being honest, this could be a 2-0 series lead for the Huskies. At least a split.
Easily.
Yeah. So we get into it. It was a 5-3 win on Thursday. Not an ideal start for the Moncton Wildcats, being outshot 17-5 in the first period. They won this hockey game because Matthias Rousseau made an unbelievable arm save with about a minute and 30 seconds left in the first period. If he doesn't make that save and they come out of there 2-0, down 2-0, it's over. Yeah. They came out guns blazing in the second, disallowed goal because apparently is goalie interference now when you blow on the goaltender. But come tied, like they scored 2, bang, bang, and then the third a few minutes later. Just the building was not going at 4,500 people on a Thursday night. But when they scored those 3 goals, the building was pumping, and they were able to get it done. And that's the thing. And I said it to Gardner. I said it to Preston in the post games, like death by 1,000 cuts. They took the body blows and they outlasted Run Around in this game. Without that save, they lose this hockey game.
It's a different story. No, you're right. And that was it was late in the first period too. So yeah, like a 2-0 lead. I mean, going into the dressing room is going to be tough to overcome. Russo, maybe his best game as a Wildcat. I don't know if I want to put it that way, but definitely a game that he was. You talk about vintage Randy Orton. Well, this was vintage Mathis Russo. This was the Mathis Russo that we've seen in Halifax for 3 or 4 years now. Like, he was on his game, making the saves that he needed to make, and just quick strike offense. You get 2 early ones, and at the start of the second, and that boom, the place is on fire. But then at the same time, it's like they get that late goal, Rouen, right? That was. It was along the ice.
I think it went through like 4 people before it got to him.
So you always worry about late goals, giving up late goals. How are they going to respond while they come in 2.5 minutes into the third and
Located with a shot.
Yeah. So it was.
I think Cote finally gets going. Literally,
which was hilarious because I think 2 minutes prior to that, I turned to you and I said, "You know who's got to get going? Cote."
Yeah,
because he was so good in the second half of the regular season.
And I said he's good shutting him down. We got to get the offense.
Got to get the offense going, and then there he goes and puts one in. So I was like, "Ha ha! Right on cue."
You're welcome.
But look, it was. You're right. It was definitely could have been a different story, but I don't think we can talk about this game without talking about Gabe Smith and how good of a playoff he's having. Like, what is he, like, 5th in scoring right now in the playoffs?
4th, I think. Yeah, something like that.
Like,
I guess it depends on the stats.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Nobody would have.
Being a third line guy, I would not have guessed that Gabe Smith would be in the top 5 of playoff scoring. Third?
Denway at 22, Jacob Metchu at 20, Gabe Smith 15, Zonin 14, Gradine 14.
Wow. See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
His trajectory from when he was drafted, which we can talk about it now. Richie asked me who I wanted in the second round, and I said, go get Gabe Smith. I like his size. His trajectory from year one when we said go work with the Plendowskis to get your skating up.
Yeah.
Like he is becoming
a force,
a power forward that is making things. And I think Utah drafting him was the best thing that happened to him.
Speaking of Utah, so they signed. I'm just assuming. I'm just going to throw things out there right now. Do you think them signing Lavoie lit a fire under Gabe Smith's ass?
I would. Yep.
I mean, he's just been a completely different player in the playoffs, and it only seemed to have started after they announced that Lavoie signing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's what it is, but if that's the way it is, keep it going because he's dominant right now. He's playing a dominating style of hockey that is. I knew it was in him. I just hadn't seen it yet, and I'm glad it's showing up in the third round of the playoffs or the second. Playoffs in general, right?
Yeah.
But right now,
that line in general with him and Lounsbury and Collard, you'll hear one of those names in a little bit. They have been Moncton's best line in this series. Like they're all over the ice. We moved to Friday, as you asked Gardner in the post game. First game, they didn't need 4 to win. But it felt like to me, it was just a matter of time. They were getting a lot of chances. Another disallowed goal, which just to let you guys know, in the Q offices, to my untrained eye, I believe Milosh is pushing into players. I believe he starts in the blue crease and he is pushing his way out just to get that little bit of contact. But that's two disallowed goals in each game. But it took a while, down 1-0. Broke through with Grenier. Again, Gabe Smith gets the turnover on the half wall, gets it to Grenier, who doesn't get all of it. And then a minute later, he gets it to Lounsbury for the GWG. Like they're doing an unbelievable job. And I said this on the live, because they were tested against Quebec and Baie-Comeau and got wins. They know how to play in these 1-goal games. And it is a benefit for this hockey club right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, some food trusted.
Yeah, I was going to say, but there was a lot of nervous pacing.
Yeah.
On Friday night.
Started a bit earlier for him than me.
Yep. Definitely a lot of nervous pacing. I think I would probably pull my groin if I were to try to knee drop like Grenier did on that goal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we are too old. Like, our bodies do not twist that way.
Yeah.
And you're right. He didn't get all of it.
And that's the only way he scores. If he corrals it and tries to shoot it, Milosh gets over there.
Yeah.
But he knew he had to shoot that.
Yeah. And then less than a minute later.
Yeah.
It's just, and I brought it up to Coach Mack. Like, the secondary scoring is turning out to be a huge benefit to this team and the depth, because we talk about Rouen being so top heavy, right? we've done I would say a decent job of shutting down their guys so far.
Mm-hmm.
But it's our bottom six that's really taking control of this series. You know, it was nice to get Cote going in game 1, but 3 assists from Gabe Smith in game 1, an assist from him in game 2. Grenier, who's a third pairing defenseman, tying the game, and then Preston Lounsbury. We should say, with the promotion, because of an in-game adjustment made by Coach McDougall, which we definitely wouldn't have seen last year. Let's put it that way. Kind of that's what turned the tide on the game. If he does that too early, Rouen has the time to adjust to it.
Yeah.
But he waits until the third period, and then once you get that 1-goal lead, it's more of a shutdown. So if you're going to win games, you're going to need your bottom 6 guys and your almost your unsung heroes to contribute, but you're also going to need your matchups, right? And again, you're going on the road. Will they be able to do these without having last change? Are they going to be able to do these, adjustments on the road? That's going to be the concern. That's going to be what kind of what I'm looking for in game 3.
I think I almost would think you'd want to come out with different lines to start, because you're allowing their defense, Carr, and I can't remember what the other guy's name is. They've done a really good job in shutting down the Denby Allen. Yeah.
Higgins.
27. Lemire and Carr, and then Higgins and
Dufresne, yeah.
They've done a really good job. And I think that's one of the things is when you can move guys down the lineup, and now you're having to put them either stress their top 4 or allow Schenkens and Duguay to play minutes against guys that are a little bit more skilled than them. I think line matching is going to be one thing to look at. I think the other thing is how they're going to get through the neutral zone, because they have done Rouen has done a really good job of clogging up that neutral zone to the point where it's frustrated Moncton. And when you're now getting into a smaller ice, those time and space that you have is shrinking even more. It gets more magnified. So it's kind of you had your point and my point are right here in the two things, the line matching or mismatching. How do you do that when you're at home? But it's it's a rink where you want to play with the lead.
Oh yeah.
If you're Moncton, you don't want to be chasing because they can just shut you down. The special teams hasn't really been a factor. They allowed Zana to get 1 goal at the end of the game.
There was one penalty in game 2.
One penalty in game 2.
That's it.
Which I believe was a Mills and LeBlanc game. That was the last time we had one penalty in a Mills Mo LeBlanc game. Can't remember it.
Been a while.
Been a while, yeah. And both goaltenders, again, Rudy was very good on Saturday. I don't want to say like stole it, but I mean Moncton did come out a little bit better in that second. I think they had to adjust to the style. Like they're expecting to be hit in time and space, and Ren's was like, "Man, we can play with you.
Yeah,
here we go.
Like we're speed, we're skilled. Yeah. We've got you. We don't have like." I didn't think this was going to be a physical series just because the teams are so like they're almost evenly matched. Like it's crazy for me to say that, but they are almost evenly matched. Like Moncton, you could make the argument that Moncton's also top heavy, but that's being proven in the series that it's not. Like there are 3 lines that can score, and the 4th line can keep it in the offensive zone for a 45-second shift if and when they get ice time.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get a little bit more. Now, obviously, 1-goal games is tough to get them ice time, but you see every now and again, Kluche comes out. Yep. Samson will be out there. Crosby. They don't come out as a line as much. They kind of individually give rest to players, but I think even if you play them in some of the game 2, I think against Baie-Comeau, they got that shift. They got that offensive zone draw, and they kept it down there for 45 seconds. Yeah. They got trusted, got more time, and Ranley Sampson scores. And I don't know if that's what it needs to happen. Like they need to get a good shift and get some trust, but special teams in this one, I mean, Moncton on the road is 91% in the penalty kill. And on a small rink, they can chuck that thing around. It's going to need to be a situation where they don't take penalties up there and kill penalties.
They've got, the neutral zone thing. Yeah, it's definitely a concern, but at the same time, like they've got players that can dipsy doodle, right? Like it's like look, we've seen on multiple occasions Loke Johansson come out from behind the net and almost scare the bejesus out of me, but he's bing bang boom, he's going up the ice.
Yeah.
He just, and same thing with Forte Gendron. He just has that ability to escape the escapability.
Yeah.
And like we're it's not a job. The forward group can do it as well. So I think they can use that to their advantage.
I also think they were caught off guard in game one.
Oh yeah.
With that, how they like their structure and how Hartley plays.
Yep.
I think they were caught off guard.
Yeah. Veroa has an identity. Like I can't think of a team that plays for this instead of this.
Yeah.
Every
time, every year,
every shift, every shift.
Yeah.
It's all about the jersey. It's not about the name. And like they're showing it. Like they're a very, very good team.
I will say the thing that you talked about last week, and somebody reach out to you and what needs to be changed coming into this series in the Baie-Comeau series, they changed it. So either they figured it out or they talked to you. I don't know if you want to give it away, but they have changed it, and they have
after the series is over.
Yeah,
I might not even say it.
They have done a really good job at what
Yeah.
they had to adjust. To. So it's a long way from over. I know there was a question that was talking about the mindsets going into it.
Oh yes, yeah, going up there first. Not even going to say it.
Yeah, going up there to not bring the team back. Yeah, it's game 2.
Yeah, we're not. It's April. You're looking ahead to June.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But it's a series that, again, I truly think what we had to go through to play when playing Quebec, which should have been an easier series, but it was very physical. Baie-Comeau is paying off as opposed to playing Gatineau and Halifax, and that's not Rennes' fault. They have to play, but you expect that Veroa, Zonin, and Steiner line to get going in one of these games at least.
100%.
Like, you can't hold them down. I mean, you'd love to, but they have to get going. And I think if they're going to, it's going to be at home when they don't have to play the long arms of Gill and Loke, because they've done a good job of shutting them down.
Yeah. No, I don't think we're going to see a low scoring game 3. I think there's definitely going to be more than 3 goals scored. Let's put it that way.
Total.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if you meant like 3 for us or like total.
But 4 is a magic number, it seems. So let's go get 4 goals and see what happens.
I'm there, and it should be if you. Yeah, let's just go there.
Russo is going to want to get a little revenge on his last game in Rouen, where he gave up that last minute. Goal to Steiner in the regular season. So he's gonna want to get that one back, and so hopefully we can come away with a win Tuesday and
keep it rolling.
See where it goes.
Yep. And you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
Yes, sir.
I feel like it's going to tie into what we were just talking about.
Eric Murray, realtor, buy our house from him. Stick tap of the week.
All right, so let me tone it down here a little bit. I know we kind of had our fair share of critiquing the league earlier in the show, but I will take this opportunity to balance it out a little bit. People are going to think that this is a weird one.
Drinking the haterade, bro?
Well, look, it's obviously it's been a concern. It's about the air horns and Baie-Comeau and Rouen and all these smaller rinks where everybody goes to the dollar store, buys themselves an air horn, brings it to the game, and it's just chaos.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the league has kind of stepped up and said, "All right, tone it down a little bit with the air horns. You can make air horns at home. You can bring the trumpets. You can bring your bottles with coins inside, but tone it down with the air horns." And I couldn't be more happy. Our rink is literally named after a hearing company.
Yeah.
Right. B, you don't need that much noise. I mean, you don't need that many air horns. Like it's a distraction. It's taking away from the enjoyment of a hockey game. If I were to go to a game and there's like 2,000 people with air horns, I'm probably not staying. It's just I'm not saying that because I'm an old guy or anything like that, but it does take away from what you go to a hockey game for. You go to a hockey game for entertainment, not to have your ears blown out with an air horn. So I do want to give a shout out to the league and the stick tap of the week to the league for cracking down on it. Hopefully they're actually serious about it, and because it's too much.
I get it. Like when it comes to the TV and you're annoyed by it, it's too much. I can't remember who tweeted it out, but it's like it's the guy that follows Gatineau.
Martin LaHaye.
Yeah, Martin LaHaye. It's one thing to have the horns going when you're cheering, but every time Baie-Comeau came over the blue line, he said every time they skate cut a certain way, they were air horning it. Like it's too much. And I'm a little bit shocked that they did put a stop to it now, just because like it's the playoffs. Like maybe something going into next year.
I think there was a complaint. I think there was a complaint to the league about it.
Yeah.
Not saying that it was from Moncton, not saying it was from Cape Breton, but
it was Rimouski shared theirs.
Yeah, Rimouski shared it.
Miranda shared it. And I don't even think those are the two teams. I'm assuming Shawinigan will here shortly.
Yeah.
But I don't even think those two teams were that bad with the air horns. But it's Baie-Comeau, and they ruined it for everyone.
Yeah. So good on them for, doing it, because it just, like I said earlier, it just takes away from the atmosphere of or the reasoning that you go to hockey. It just kills the vibe.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
And that brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa. Teeth whitening is now available for booking starting at $85. 3 15-minute sessions are included in that service price. You can add another 15 minutes for only $20. Don't forget they have the loyalty card. Get 9 spa services, get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or stop her at 1224 Mountain Road here shortly, as they are moving to find out where they're moving, as they are accepting new clients. Well, we talked about him a little bit. His line has been one of the best lines in this series. Now he's tied as Moncton's leading point getter in the first 2 games. He had the GWG on Friday night with the wrister, and his line with Smith and Collard, like we said, it's been dynamite on the forecheck all series long. A goal and 3 assists in these past 2 games. Your Wildcat of the Week is number 20, the bilingual Preston Lounsbury.
Very impressive bilingual.
Yeah, caught everyone off guard, I think.
Yeah. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Probably a lot better job in French. Even used the correct word for teammates.
Oh, did he?
Coéquipier. I was very impressed with that. I would have said, mes teammates?
What's funny is Grenier was like, just French questions. And we both looked at the guy putting the thing together, Alex, and we're like, he can speak English. He's talked to us before, but when you're sitting there by yourself and there's some people and cameras, you want to talk in what you're comfortable with. So, but yeah, I said to Preston, I don't know if you heard it. I was like, we didn't know you spoke French, or else Jeremy would have asked you questions in French this year. We could have been a bilingual show. So, but yeah, that'll do it for this week. We got through it, hammered through it. The watch parties are at both Sports Rock locations. Finally,
finally did it.
Sports Rock locations, game 3 and 4. Game 3 tonight, game 4 tomorrow. I think if this continues to go where we want it to go, you're going to have to use that nice Ian Fowler oval as the days get nicer. I don't know who's going to put it on, whether it's the Wildcats with the overpriced Avenir Center, or a sponsor steps up and puts things together. But I think if it goes to where we want to go, if they're not going to let you go in the building to watch it on the screen,
got to be a buy-in.
It's got to be a buy. Like World Juniors set the bar, like a screen outside with
beer gardens,
food trucks, whatever. That should be what happens at later on this month. and maybe next month. That's where we got to go. But yeah, that's it. So for Jeremy.
Well, just one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
One more thing. Just to end the show. You know, it's this show comes out on Tuesday.
Yes.
Game 4 is on Wednesday.
Yes.
And you know what Thursday is? It's gonna be May.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.